Welcome to Mama Dee's Kitchen. Tonight we're outside, we're in Conroe, we're getting ready to leave and head east this weekend. So we thought we'd do one last cook on the griddle before we pack it up and head east. And tonight we're gonna do backstrap. Dave, come a little bit closer here. And it's deer backstrap. So I grew up out in the country and we would have beef and deer and of course chicken and all kinds of stuff, but one of the things that we had was a lot of deer steak. And so you really need to know how to cook deer steak. It's not something you can just really throw on the grill or the griddle or in your kitchen unless you like that really gamey taste. So I grew up, my mom would take deer steak and she would soak it in buttermilk, and buttermilk would bring out that wild gamey taste. Well, backstrap is the best part of a deer steak. It's tender, it just kind of melts in your mouth once you cook it. So Dave and I have visited a restaurant in Columbus, Texas called Shobles. If you ever go to Columbus, go to Shobles. It's really a great restaurant. One of the things on their menu is a sirloin steak that has been breaded and fried on their griddle or in their skillet. And it's with mushrooms and onions and it's just so good. So I thought, let's try that with backstrap. Now backstrap doesn't take a long time to cook, but I want to kind of show you some of the other ingredients I have here. So these are my Thrive ingredients, but you can make them with regular from the store ingredients. So I have onion, mushrooms, potatoes, red and green peppers, Thrive cheese, a salt and pepper mixture. I have my Chef's Choice blend, and I also have one of our favorite seasonings called Lantana of Texas. It's just an all-around great seasoning that I've had, well, as long as I can remember being an adult. What we're gonna do is we're gonna dredge our back strap in a flour mixture, but I decided that we were gonna kind of go healthy tonight, Dave. So I have a mixture of almond flour, coconut flour, and a little bit of potato flour that I'm going to mix this up. And I'm not going to dip it in milk and eggs. We're just going to dip it in the dredging in this flour mixture itself. So we want to put quite a bit of oil on our stove. And I'm going to just kind of go ahead and get these a little bit refreshed, because you know Thrive foods are either dehydrated or freeze-dried. And so you have to kind of bring them back to their natural state of freshness. So that's what we're going to do here. And we're going to kind of shake up our potatoes. We're going to make potatoes and an egg ring tonight. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to go ahead and get this on the grill. So what we're doing here is we're just kind of dredging this in a little bit of this flour mixture. And we're going to put it on the stove, on the griddle, on some hot oil. And we're going to fry us some backstrap. It's a beautiful day in Conroe. It's what, probably 80 degrees, Dave?
Yes.
To me, it's a little warm. To Dave, it's perfect temperature. Goodness, babe. Sorry. Take that stuff out of there. Alright, we're going to add just a little bit more flour on there. I'm just going to put this in our oil, get it frying up here for us. Now you could use regular flour with this. I'm trying to eat a little healthier, and so we're trying out some different nut flours. I hope in the very near future to do a bread recipe using the different nut flours. So stick around for that. A little bit more oil on my stove here. Alright, so while that's working over there, I'm going to come over here. We're going to start with a little bit of garlic. Onion, a little bit of mushroom, a little bit of pepper. And then we're going to put some of our potatoes.
Now to think, those mushrooms are fresh as they were 2 months ago when we bought them. Same with the peppers and onions.
And I did a video recently with corn off the cob, roasted corn off the cob. And so tonight we've got our corn rehydrated too. Again, you can use any kind of corn. But we're going to use our roasted corn off the cob here, just for a side dish. Kind of cook a little bit. That lantana is good on everything. And you can only get this in Texas. Just a little bit of salt and pepper. No, it's just a little bit. While that's cooking, let me just show you my trusty little tool. Look at this. This is a tenderizer. You can't cut your fingers with it. You just push it down on your meat. Chop, 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 chop. And you're done. Takes up very minimal space in your cupboard. Great way to do it. Look at that meat there. Doesn't that look good? Now you may think, deer steak, yes. But until you've had backstrap, deer steak, backstrap, you haven't lived. That is some good eating. We have some friends that live in Florida. A little bit more oil over here. We have some friends that live in oil. We have some friends that live in Florida. And we visited them a couple of years ago and right at deer season. And it was so fun because we just pulled our RV right up onto their yard. Tony and Gina, you know who you are.
Looking forward to seeing you again.
Yep, planning on coming down this winter. Pulled it up on their yard and they went deer hunting, killed deer, and that night, fresh deer meat. Maybe it was the next day though actually, because I think they let it hang for a day. But, oh my goodness, was it good. That was my introduction to fresh cut deer meat. I grew up on it, but boy, right off the deer. Just a little bit of oil right here. And I'm going to just take my corn. You can see my corn's already rehydrated. Just some of that juice and mix it right over there. I'm going to put some seasoning on it. A little salt and pepper. I know I'm weird. One of my favorite dishes is mashed potatoes and corn mixed together. That's some good eating. Now our corn, of course, is we just got to heat it through. So it shouldn't take very long at all. Peppers and onions and mushrooms over here because those are for my steak. But I'm going to take my little egg rings. I love these things. Now you don't have to use them. I just like to use them because they just add a little bit of change up to what you're doing. Again, this is just chopped cubed potato. We're gonna add a little bit of cheese, dried cheese, but you can use any kind of cheese. We're gonna take it down, we're gonna put a little bit more on there. Whoops, that didn't work. Oh, that didn't work. You can do that and not make a huge mess with it. I'm gonna pack it down in there. Right over there. And I'm gonna take a little bit of cheese, put it on top of it. Alright, so we're going to just give a little bit of steam under this right here. And I'm just going to kind of dull it for a minute because I want that cheese to melt. Now I haven't found anything that you can't cook on your Blackstone griddle, or any griddle but my Blackstone griddle. I've done pancakes, French toast, crepes, hamburgers, hot dogs, steaks, stir fry. What else, Dave? What am I missing?
Sausage,
Sausage,
pork
sloppy
chops,
joes, pork chops. There isn't anything you can't put on your griddle. Just make sure to remember to just season it when you start. Do all your cooking, wipe it up, clean it up really good, and then just do a light coat of seasoning and you're ready for the next time. So we're going to go ahead and turn our fires off. Because I think we are, look at that cheese melted on there, Dave. Just go ahead and put a little bit more cheese on there. All right. I'm going to start with some peppers and onion mixture on the bottom here. Some corn on the side. A couple of pieces of steak on top. Ooh, that's a little bit warm. Do it this way, it might be easier. The nice thing about doing griddling is when you cook your meat, whatever it is, chicken, beef, whatever, if you do enough that you can have it for the next day, you can make it in sandwiches. Some good eating. Like when we're traveling this weekend, I'll make some snacks and stuff for us. But we may have that meat for sandwiches in our lunch, Dave. All right, guys. Bon appetit. Backstrap deer steak, corn, and potato cakes. Some good eating. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Remember to do all those things, like, share, subscribe, notify button, all the things that go with it, so you'll know when the next video comes out. We're going to take a break and we're going to go eat this yummy, scrumptious dinner. And until next time, keep looking up.